We know the pandemic has been going on and tough for families to get their annual checkups and immunizations. We're joined by Donnelly from Wasatch Pediatrics, and there's probably a lot of questions that parents have out there about their kids, and times are a little bit different right now.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think this has never been harder to figure out what is the right thing to do with my child. I think we have this ongoing needs of taking care of your kids just that you've always had, and then you've got this layer of the pandemic on top of it, and it makes it hard to say, like, when do I go in, and what should I do, and when my kid is sick, when should I come in, and I think the key here is communication with us, right? That every situation is different. One thing we worry about, though, is we've seen a big drop in well visits since the pandemic began.
Because people are afraid.
Absolutely, and that's understandable. At the same time, though, we're doing everything we can to try to make offices as safe as we can. We've separated out sick visits and well visits so that every office is either going to be separated by space or by time, so that you should not run the risk of being around a sick person when you bring your healthy child in.
Right. So well child visits, people have not really been doing them, but they are very important to continue to do. What happens in a well child visit?
Well, so a well visit is, it's really a combination of many things, right? We're screening for normal growth and development. We're monitoring for underlying diseases that could be going on. We're managing chronic problems. We are giving vaccinations. And especially for older kids, we're also monitoring their mental health and the various learning problems and things like that, especially with the challenges that homeschool and that has brought on.
It really does.
During the pandemic.
All right, and then flu shot. I mean, our station is doing flu shots on Monday, and the email that came out said it's really important to do this now and to start early just because of what's going on. Do you recommend that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and for a couple of reasons. I mean, the flu is, has so many symptoms that are exactly like COVID. And so, it's going to be so confusing as the year plays out and as the winter goes that, if you have those symptoms, do I have COVID? Do I have flu? And, I just think for to just not go crazy and have too many COVID scares, it's going to be helpful to have your flu shot. Also, we've got this, you already have a burdened healthcare system, right? And then when we have a bad flu year and you throw those flu cases on top of that, it's just going to be harder to manage.
What are you hearing from parents, and what are you saying to parents to make them feel more comfortable when they bring their kids in?
I think it's more just, I think we've communicated this through our social media, and when people call, we try to make them feel at ease. Like, for instance, in my office, we have all of our sick patients check in from the parking lot. They come in a back door. We're all wearing our gowns and everything. We keep that very separate, and that way, then hopefully you can come in with confidence and feeling safe when you bring in your healthy child.
Well, I was just thinking, like, some people have new babies. Is it okay to bring your baby with it?
Absolutely.
Is that all right?
And it's so important too. I mean, that monitoring your baby in those first, several days and weeks is so crucial to make sure they're doing okay. And yeah, I mean, remarkably, babies have really done very well with COVID. I mean, they really don't get very sick.
That's encouraging.
And it's unbelievable. But
are there other questions during this time that we should be asking you when we're in there? Is there anything special, or do we just treat it like normal?
I mean, I think for the most part we treat it like normal. I think we've seen a big increase in mental health issues, especially for school-age children, and we need to be thinking about that and making sure we're supporting those kids in the best way we can. I think the other thing I've seen a lot of is people who are hesitant to bring their child in when they're sick, or not sure what to do when they're sick, or they immediately go to a tent and get COVID testing. If they had called us first and walked through that process, we'd often find, oh, well, actually, you probably should be tested for strep first, for instance.
So that is important, like you said, communication. If your child is sick, call,
right,
and you can talk about the options.
Right, and talk to us and figure out, like, what is the right thing to do when your child's sick, or if you have reservations about coming in with your child when they're well, you give us a call. We'll talk about it, and we can come up with a way that you're comfortable with that will help you, feel okay bringing them in.
Are you finding people are more comfortable after they come in, after they see how clean everything is, that are they finding
That's certainly
themselves
the impression
more
I've had. Yeah, I've had no indication at all that people feel unsafe while we're there.
Well, it's important that you're on the show, and I know a lot of parents are still afraid, right, to bring their kids in.
Totally.
But you're saying, don't be afraid.
Please don't.
This is the time we want our kids to be healthy.
Absolutely.
How often should we be coming in and getting our child
Well,
checked?
I mean, once you're out of there's a set schedule, right? For newborns, it's every 2 to 3 months, and then as you get, past 3, it's just annually. But yeah, we really encourage annual visits for those older kids because we want to make sure we're doing that surveillance and that management and everything of their care and being, doing that.
Ryan, you've made me feel more comfortable.
Oh, good.
Wasatch Pediatrics. There's a lot of locations.
Right.
You can go onto the website and find
Absolutely.
the
We have 8
location near you.
locations. Yes, we have over 50 board-certified pediatricians. We're
Make
here
an
for you.
appointment. Get those
Okay.
kids checked out.
Yep.
Ryan, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming on the show.
Yep.
We are going to put that on our website, abc4.com.